Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? Okay, we can start. Mataji, shall we start, Mataji? Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavatam Madhya Khanda 16th chapter and text 109 to 117. Before handovering the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read today's quote of Srila Prabhupada. So, today is 24th October. Renunciation is required, but when one makes further progress after renunciation towards spiritual life and enters into the pastimes of Krishna, then things become perfect. Letter to Kapila Dev, October 24, 1969. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association to us this mid morning. Welcome to the call, Prabhu. Whenever ready, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My pranams to all the devotees in the Chaitanya Bhagavata Satsang program. Let's begin with the Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Right. Reading from Chaitanya Bhagavata, Madhya Khanda, chapter 16, entitled The Lord's Acceptance of Shuklambaras Rice. Verse number 98 onwards. Yeah, I was told 98 to 108. 97 to 108. No? Read the shlokas. हरि बोल बलि उठे प्रभु विश्वंबर चतुर्दि के वेदी सब गाय अनुचार. Lord Vishwambar stood up and chanted Hari Bol. His followers sang on all sides. Advaita Acharya Maha Anande Vihvala Mahamatta Hai Nache Pasari Sakala. Advaita Acharya was overwhelmed with ecstasy. He forgot everything as he danced like an intoxicated person. Tarje Garje Acharya Dadite Diya Hata Brukuti Kariya Nache Shantipuranath. Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Shantipur, touched his beard and roared loudly as he furrowed his eyebrows and danced. In accordance with the purport, in accordance with the scriptural injunctions, Sri Advaita Prabhu shaved his moustache, beard, and hair. Hair of any length on the chin is an ordinary language called dadi or beard. That is why, due to ignorance, some people attribute on him the symptoms like a dress, beard, and hair of a foolish bowler. But actually, he was clean shaven. To address him as Nada is an indication of his shaved head. Shaved head. In Bengali, the word Nyada, which is the corruption of the word Nada, refers to a person with a cleanly shaved head. Jaya Krishna Gopala Govinda Vanamali Aharnisha Gaya Sabe Haya Kutuhali. Day and night they all happily sang Jai Krishna Gopala Govinda Vanamali. Nityananda Mahaprabhu Parama Vikvala Tatapi Chaitanya Nrite Parama Kushala. Savadane Chaturdike Dui Hastatuli Padite Chaitanya Dari Rahe Mahabali. Although Lord Nityananda was greatly overwhelmed, he was expert in dancing with Lord Chaitanya. Whenever Lord Chaitanya was about to fall, the most powerful Nityananda stretched out his arms and carefully caught him. Since Nityananda Prabhu was always absorbed in ecstasy, from the material point of view, he was greatly overwhelmed or maddened. But even while dancing for the pleasure of the Lord, he would display full expertise. Whenever Sri Chaitanya Deva became maddened due to love of Krishna while dancing and was about to fall on the ground, Sri Nityananda Prabhu prevented him from falling on the ground by stretching out his arms. Ashesha Aveshe Nache Sri Gaurangaraya Tahavarni Bara Shakti Kedhare Jihvaya. Lord Gauranga danced in unlimited ecstasy. Who has the power to describe that dancing? Saraswati Sahita Apane Balarama Sei Takura Gayapurin Manaskama. Balaram and Saraswati sing his glories to their full satisfaction. The sounds that are vibrated by the tongue when one is overwhelmed with ecstatic love at the time of Krishna Kirtan, while chanting the glories of one's worshipable Lord, appear due to the combination of Baladev and Saraswati. Baladev sings to his full satisfaction the glories of his Lord, through the tongue of Saraswati. Kshane kshane murcha hoya kshane mahakampa kshane trinalaya kare kshane mahadamba. Sometimes the Lord lost consciousness. Sometimes his body shook. Sometimes he took straw between his teeth, and sometimes he became greatly proud. Kshane hasa kshane shwasa kshane va virasa eimata prabhura avesha parakasha. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he sighed deeply, sometimes he became morose. In this way, the Lord manifests his ecstatic love. Virasana Hariyata Kurakshane Vaishe Maha Atta Atta Kari Maje Maje Hase. Sometimes the Lord sat in the Virasan posture, sometimes he laughed loudly. Bhagya Anurupa Krupa Karaye Sabare Dubila Vaishnava Saba Ananda Sagare. As he bestowed mercy on everyone according to their good fortune, all the Vaishnavas drowned in an ocean of ecstasy. Mahaprabhu's various pastimes are seen by his devotees according to their qualification. The impersonalists who are indifferent to the Lord are totally unqualified to achieve the Lord's mercy. People who are expert in pious activities and are engaged in fruity work think that they have achieved the desired perfection in temporary material enjoyment by obtaining illusory benedictions. The Supreme Lord is controlled by the love of his devotee in proportion to the devotee's endeavor to engage in his service. The enjoyment of temporary happiness by the selfish fruity workers and the cultivation of impersonal Brahman by the mental speculators cannot be called mercy. Due to their piety, the devotees of the Lord become free from the inauspiciousness of unrestricted sense enjoyment, fruitive activities, and mental speculation. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Caitanya Bhagavata. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Navadvip was going through the previous part of this chapter. Mahaprabhu's dealings with Advaita Acharya. How Advaita Acharya took the dust of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the dust of Advaita Acharya. How Mahaprabhu's appreciation for Advaita Acharya. As Advaita Mahaprabhu would always respect Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya always wanted to be known as a servant of Mahaprabhu, but all the time Mahaprabhu was respecting him. So we see this Chaitanya Bhagavata is filled with such ecstatic, loving dealings between Mahaprabhu and his devotees and between those devotees. So Chaitanya Bhagavata, sometimes it may appear a little difficult to relate because all these dealings described in Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Charitamrita, how the devotees at the level of prema, how do they interact with each other? That is what is described in all these stories. And when Mahaprabhu is dancing in Srivas Thakur's house, and everybody is allowed to witness that dancing. Only a person with a particular qualification, they can witness the dancing. And depending on the mercy which the Lord bestows upon a person, according to that, people saw the Mahaprabhu's pastimes according to the mercy which they got. This purport also is explained. Depending on the mindset of the people, they approach the Lord differently. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Krishna says that how, depending on how a person approaches me, I reciprocate with the person accordingly. When Krishna entered the wrestling arena of Kamsa, at that time it is described that how the different people perceived Krishna. Mallanam Ashanir Nrinam Naravaro Strinam Smaro Murtiman Gopanam Sajano Satam Kshitibujam Mrityurbojam Tatvam Param Yoginam Vrishninam Paradevateti Vidito Rangam Gata Sagraja. The different people, according to their mindset, they saw Krishna differently. The wrestlers, they saw Krishna to be like the thunderbolt, lightning bolt. The men present over there considered Krishna to be the best of the males. The women of Mathura perceived Krishna to be the personification of Cupid. And the Gopas who had come from Vrindavan, they considered Krishna to be the child or the relative. The impious rulers, they considered Krishna to be the chastiser. And Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj, saw Krishna to be the child, Shishu. And Kamsa saw Krishna to be the death personified. And then Virat Avidusham, there are certain less intelligent yogis, they saw Krishna to be the universal form. Less intelligent people. And the yogis considered Krishna to be the super soul. And the Vrishnis saw Krishna to be their worshipable deity. They said different people perceived Krishna differently. Brahmaji says in the Bhagavatam, Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase shrutekshita pato nanunata pumsam yad yad dhiyata urugaya vibhavayanti tat tat vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. So Brahmaji says that your devotees can see you through the years by the process of bona fide hearing from the Shastra. And in that process, their hearts become cleansed. And then when their hearts are cleansed, you start residing in their heart. And you are so merciful to your devotee that you manifest yourself in a particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Yadyat diyata urugaya vibhavayanti tattat vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. In which form they meditate upon, that in that form you actually reveal to them. So here also it is said that Mahaprabhu's pastimes are seen by his devotees according to their qualification. The qualification refers to the devotional qualification. So it's Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur also says that those who are indulged in engaging in unrestricted sense gratification without following any dharma, and those who are engaged in fruitive activities, and those who are engaged in mental speculation, all these three people have not received the mercy of the Lord. The real mercy of the Lord is received by people who engage in bhakti yoga, and according to the mood in which they approach, their mood of devotion, the Lord reveals himself to them. So we see here the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata contains so many passages about Lord's dealing with his devotees, interaction between the devotees, perfected devotees. So we see that different scriptures, in all the scriptures, there are only three topics: Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. These topics are present in all the scriptures, but still some scriptures may give prominence to one of the three. If we take Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, now all three, Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana, all three are there in the Bhagavad Gita, but gives prominence to Sambandha Jnana. Sambandha Pradhana Grantha. Bhagavatam gives prominence to Abhideya. Abhideya Pradhana Grantha. Chaitanya Charitamrita gives prominence to Prayojana, love for Krishna. Prayojana Pradhana Grantha. That is why we find so many pastimes. Mahaprabhu was dancing, Nityananda Prabhu was dancing, Nityananda Prabhu ecstatically dancing, at the same time protecting Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya is taking the dust of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu in return taking the dust. All these are interaction between the devotees on the level of prema. So, Prayojana Pradhana Grantha is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, different stages of life, different stages of a person's devotional life also, different scriptures give become prominent. Just like in a marriage, was discussing with one devotee, was inquiring about him, about his marriage. He said he has applied for different marriage boards. He said in one marriage board, the first step, he said, we have to answer questions, and then after the questions are answered, then they give the proposals. The other girls' party, this one. But he said first he had to answer 300 questions. He told that it took 10 days for him to answer those 300 questions. After he fill up that, then they give the proposals from the girl side. So he said it took a lot of time to write those 300 questions. So in the beginning, why those 300 questions he had to answer? Because that is the first initially the Sambandha Jnana is obtained. The girl wants to obtain the Sambandha Jnana about the boy. The boy wants to get the Sambandha Jnana about the girl. Now, the first stage is the Sambandha Jnana. Then after the Sambandha Jnana is obtained, then a person decides to go ahead with the relationship. Then the process of Abhidaya starts step by step. Initially, it starts with the exchange of different plates and then engagement ceremony, marriage. And then each person, husband and wife, they start performing their duties. And then comes the stage of Prayojana, which is to beget children in the case of the marriage. So, you see there's a gradual progression from Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. Similarly, this Shastras also there is a progression of Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. Let us see something from the Bhagavad Gita, how the Bhagavad Gita focuses on Sambandha Jnana. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita contains 5 topics: Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. About all these topics, so much of Tattva is actually the Jnana is presented. And then in the Bhagavad Gita, repeatedly one theme comes in so many places in the Gita. What is that theme? The theme about equanimity. Because when a person obtains the Sambandha Jnana about the Ishvara, Jivatma, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, after each of those, when these things are presented, Krishna again and again emphasizes repeatedly about equanimity. For example, the second chapter, Krishna says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. In definition of yoga, he talks about equanimity. In Sita Prajna, he says, Duke shanudvignamana sukeshu vigata spruhaha vita raga bayakroda sitadir muniruchyate. Yahas sarvatrana vishnehas tattat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. In the fourth chapter, Yadricha labha santushto dvandvatita vimatsaraha samasiddha vasiddhaucha kritvapina nibadhyate. Sixth chapter, when he describes about Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Sama Loshtashma Kanchana Suhrun Mitra Yudasina Madhyastha Dveshya Bandhushu Sadhu Shrapicha Papeshu Samabuddhir Vishishyate. 12th chapter, in the qualities of a devotee, there again it comes. Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karuna Yevacha Nirvamo Nirahankara Samadukka Sukakshami Yasman no dvijate loko lokan no na udvijate chayah harsha marsha bayodvoge muktoya sachame priya. Like many other shlokas. 14th chapter. The symptoms of a person who has transcended the 3 modes. Samadukka sukha swastha samaloshtasma kanchanaha. Tulya priya priyo dhiras tulya nindatma samstuti. 13th chapter, the process of obtaining knowledge. Nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. And many other shlokas. Second chapter, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. 15th chapter, the qualifications for going back to spiritual world. Nirmana Moha Jitasanga Dosha Dvandvair Vimukta Sukaduk Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama Dvandvair Vimukta Sukha Dukka Samyair Gacchantyamuda Padamavyayamta. So many verses, so many sections in the Gita, the theme of equanimity comes. The equanimity becomes very important at the level of Sambandha Jnana. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see examples of the devotees who exhibited such equanimity during when they encountered reversals in their life. Parishit Maharaj, Tasyaiva megasya paravaresho vyasakta chittasya griheshva bhikshnam Nirveda Vijashaparupo Yatra Prasakto Bhayamashu Datte. Parishit Maharaj, when he was cursed to die, he says that the Krishna has come in the form of this curse in order to make me detached from the family life. Tammopayatum pratiyantu vipra gange cha devi drita chittamishe vijopasrishtak kuhakastakshako va dashatvalam gayata vishnu gataha. Let the takshaka bird come and bite me. I'm not afraid of that. You please go on narrating the pastimes of Krishna. So Parishit Maharaj is exhibiting that equanimity. Beyond the equanimity, he is exhibiting the positive attraction to hearing Krishna Katha. He is exhibiting spiritual emotions. In the case of Prutu Maharaj, how he exhibited equanimity. Lord Vishnu says that Varam chamat kanchanamana vendra vrinishvateham gunashila yantritai naham makairvai sulabastapobir yogena vayat samachittavarti. Says that you have captivated me by your wonderful behavior. Samachittavarti. You exhibited equanimity and you gave up your envy towards Indra and you stopped the 100th yajna. You stopped performing the 100th yajna. By this wonderful behavior, you have captivated me. Please ask me, I am ready to give you any benediction. Chitraketu Maharaj, when he was cursed by Parvati, Chitraketu Maharaj says that Guna Pravaha Yetasmin Kahashab Guna Pravaha Yetasmin Kahashapo Kon Manugraha Kahasargat Narakakova Kim Sukam Dukkam Evava. In the fast flowing river of time, what is a curse and what is a benediction? What is a Swarga and what is a Naraka? What is a happiness and what is a distress? All these are like a small moments, just like in a fast flowing river of time. How much time can two leaves which come together, how much time they can stay together? For an instance, and then everything will go in different direction. Similarly, the benedictions or the curses we get, or the positions in heaven or in hell we get, happiness and distress we get, all these are very temporary, they are all very instantaneous. They can. So, Chitraketu Maharaj exhibits equanimity. And Narada Muni, how he exhibits equanimity. When his only shelter, his mother died when he was just 5 years old. Narada Muni, how he took that situation? Tada tadaham ishasya bhaktanam shamabhipsatam anugraham manyamana pratishtam dishamuttaran. That Lord, that Bhagavan, who is always concerned about the welfare of my devotees, welfare of his devotees, he has come in my life in the form of this. He has shown his anugraha towards me, mercy towards me in this situation. Thinking like that, Narada went towards the northern direction. In this way, Bhagavatam contains how the devotees, when they went through reversals, how they showed their strong faith in Krishna their quality of devotion, by seeing those, by uh, facing those situations with equanimity and without wavering in their faith in Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita takes it to another level where Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu dancing in ecstasy, so many devotees dancing in ecstasy, that how the prayojana, in the level of prayojana, how the devotees exhibit ecstatic emotions. That is exhibited in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in this world also we see there are like mood disorders. In mood disorder, people's emotions go out of control. When the emotions go out of control for a prolonged period of time, that is considered to be a mood disorder. And mood disorder is one of the main problems in the mental health. So one type of mood disorder is a bipolar disorder, in which a person alternates between elation and depression. Prolonged periods of depression followed by prolonged periods of excitement. The pregnant lady was going through prolonged period of depression, thinking whether she will deliver the baby. And once the child was delivered, she became so excited that she locked up the child in a room and went for shopping. So many people, they have bipolar disorder, but they don't realize it. They don't understand it. So the bipolar disorder is because of huge expectations. Especially the media puts so much of expectations in people. And when the expectations are fulfilled, one becomes so elated. And when they are not fulfilled, they go into depression. So mind has a nature to expand the emotions. Mind expands the positivity so much that we lose track of the reality and one simply keeps celebrating. And mind also, when the mind expands the positivity, where a person simply keeps fantasizing. And similarly, when some reversal happens, mind keeps pondering over that, and then one goes into depression. So even in the modern corporate world, companies want to hire stable people because they see the productivity goes up when there are stable people. Those people who are carried away by the whirlpool of emotions, they cannot be properly productive. Either they are in celebration or in depression. So to bring back the emotions to the normal stage, that is also called as resilience. Resilience means the ability to bring back the mind to focus on what we are supposed to focus on. To bring back the mind from the negative or the positive emotions to focus on what we are expected to do. And for that, equanimity is a desired quality. Even in the Miss World contest, the runner-up who lost the final round, even though she may be unhappy within, but she is expected to be equipoised. She is expected to show her joy when the other person wins, although they may not actually feel. That means equanimity is a desired, because people appreciate equanimity. So even though they may not feel like, but they are expected to show like that. The nectar of devotion also talks about one of the items of sadhana bhakti is equanimity in loss and gain. So in the Bhagavad Gita stresses so much about equanimity because it's a Sambandha Pradhana Grantha. In the Bhagavatam, we see the practical demonstrations of people who are fixed in their who are fixed in their devotional service to Krishna, who are fixed in their abhidaya towards Krishna, how they exhibited equanimity, which are the examples of Parikshit, Prithu, Chitraketu Maharaj, Narada, etc. And in the Bhagavatam, beyond the equanimity is the spiritual emotions. In the spirit, when a devotees develop spiritual emotions, how do the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, beyond equanimity, the spiritual emotions, when the spiritual emotions come, how do the devotees interact with each other? That is what we see here in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even in the Bhagavatam, we have the example of Chitraketu Maharaj, who in his next life became Vritrasur, how he exhibited spiritual emotions. Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Kaga Stanyam Yata Vatsatarakshudarta Priyam Priyeva Yushitam Vishanna Manoratena Sati Dhavato Bahihi. Just like a baby bird is longing to be united with the mother bird, just like the Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Kaga Stanyam Yata Vatsatarakshudarta. Just like a calf is waiting for the mother cow to return. Just like a newlywed wife is longing for the husband's return. Similarly, I am longing to be united with you, like that Vritrasur is exhibiting a spiritual emotion. Narada Muni says how they, even in the Bhagavatam, Narada Muni says that how the equanimity is important while showing compassion. Dayaya sarvabhuteshu santushtyo yena kenava sarvendriyopashantyacha tushyatyashu janardana. The quickest way to please Krishna is to show compassion to others. But one can show compassion to others when a person is satisfied in any condition. Santushtya yena kenava. This is the equanimity. And a person can be satisfied in any condition when his senses are controlled, which is possible when a person's mind is fixed on Krishna. So, in that way, we see when the modern psychologists, when they see the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they may say, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going through bipolar disorder. Because when Srivas Thakur's mother-in-law was there inside the house, Mahaprabhu is saying, I'm not feeling ecstasy. Then after Srivas Thakur drove her out, then Mahaprabhu is saying that, oh, I have got my ecstasy back. It appears that Mahaprabhu is going through certain mood disorder, like that modern psychologists will analyze, actually. But these interactions between Mahaprabhu and his devotees, they are the exhibition of spiritual emotions. Whatever Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anubhava, Satvika Bhava, Vyabhichari Bhava, although which are described in different rasas, they are all exhibited by Mahaprabhu and his associates in the Caitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So these are some thoughts which came to my mind. I will stop here. If anybody wants to add anything, they can share.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, do you have time for question answer or realization, Prabhu?
Can
Shall
take
I
some
ask?
questions.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or any realization, please unmute yourself and please go ahead. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for the very interesting class, and especially about the analysis of this mood swings, which can be easily misinterpreted as bipolar. It was very interesting analysis, Prabhu, about the actual bipolar and what really Mahaprabhu was going through. So thank you so much for that clarification. Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Will we end here?
Okay, Prabhu, I cannot see any hand raised. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for explaining, for giving all the examples of Parikshit Maharaj and Prithu Maharaj and Chitraketu Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the nectarian class. We are really grateful to you, Prabhu, and explaining about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Thank you. And relating it to Bhagavad Gita also, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And you said one point like if one is fully satisfied, if after practicing bhakti one is fully satisfied, how that satisfaction will come if we are engaging ourselves in the service of Krishna. Then the sorry, Prabhu, sorry. Then you said everything can come in line, Prabhuji, you said equanimity will come, or what did you say? I just missed that line, Prabhu. Can you please say that?
Yeah, equanimity. Equanimity is emphasized so much in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a Sambandha Pradhana Grantha. Sambandha Jnana is prominent in Bhagavad Gita. So, therefore, Gita, Krishna emphasizes repeatedly, be equipoised. And, by giving the different topics of Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jivatma, Ishvara, etc. Equanimity is like a junction. On one side, there are material emotions as a person, where a person oscillates between celebration and depression, joy and sorrow. And then advancing from the stage of oscillating between these material emotions, a person comes to the junction point, which is equanimity.
Okay.
And then beyond equanimity is the other side, which is the other side of the ocean. Equanimity, we can say, suppose it's like a junction. One side there is material emotions, another side there are spiritual emotions. So in order to experience spiritual emotions, one has to go through that junction of equanimity. And then that will exhibit one's steady faith while showing equanimity. And then when a person gets the love for Krishna, then a person experiences this positive spiritual emotions.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Prabhu, I cannot see any hand raised. So with your permission, can we end the call here, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We are so grateful for your time and association and for the enlightening class today. Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nam pavanebhyo vaisnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavatam ki jai, and His Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you.
जय हरि बोल
Hare
दंडवत
Krishna.
प्रणाम प्रभु जी हरे